This 73-year-old is fluent in fashion and farming. 220 retailers and online customers are supplied from here, with 2/3 of sales to urban postcodes. Being headquartered in Goondiwindi adds an extra $5 per garment, a cost Sam is happy to carry.
I mean, what do I do for my warehouse crew? And girls have been with me for years. I mean, Goondiwindi Post Office is ahead of that. So it's the whole town. Industries, if you can do it, have got to be for the people, not just for one person.
Farmer Sam Coulton has 2 natural homes. In a paddock, keeping an eye on his cotton, and at Goondiwindi Cotton Fashion HQ, a business he started nearly 30 years ago.
It feels nice.
It's lovely. Got a lovely texture to it.
Be nice and warm.
Yeah.
Are you more a farmer or an office man now?
Office. It is now, I suppose, but I love going back on the farms. I mean, if I can find an excuse, and some days I make up an excuse to go farming.
By his side is grandson Harry.
It's hard to follow in the footsteps of a man like Sam because he's done so much over his career in any multi-generational operation. You've got to have that balance of wisdom and energy, and Sam's been fantastic. You know, life experience and knowledge you only get from time.
Sam is celebrating an unprecedented 5th good season in a row. How's this harvest looking this season?
Great. Yeah, no, it is.
The Coultons haven't always grown cotton. Low wool prices in the 60s prompted a switch to cropping. And in 1976, when a flood left them unable to pay creditors, they switched again.
We went to them and said, listen here, you blokes, we're going to grow cotton and we want you to take a deep breath, lend us some more money.
So you bet the house?
We had no choice.
But Sam grew tired of the unpredictable income caused by droughts.
And back in those days, you know, if you wanted to cash flow, people said you bought a pub, you know what I mean?
In 1989, he had some of the family's cotton spun into yarn.
We got 212 bales spun, enough to make a couple 100,000 T-shirts in 20 count yarn for knitting.
He supplied a major surfwear brand and then in 1992 created his own. He named it after the town he loves. The clothes were made right here, with TAFE training locals how to sew.
Your husband off to work, kids off to school, and then the girls could get in and sew for the day and make some money from home. It was great.
But just as the brand found its feet, Australia's processing and manufacturing industries declined and then moved offshore. Rather than quit, Sam learned how to do business in Asia. Their garments are Australian cotton, just not necessarily Coulton cotton. The business has been so successful, last year he opened its first retail shop. Where else but Goondiwindi? On the wall, the first shirt, a reminder of how far Sam's come.
Our family's about the only people in the world that take it from a seed all the way through to a garment. And I know why. It's so bloody hard.
The new denim range is going to have a cream and a burgundy colour.
Yeah.
And then it works really nicely back with all our knits that we're going to be choosing in this colour shade. So
yeah, it'll tie back well.
Melbourne-based head designer Michelle Shepherd says Sam is no fashionista.
He doesn't follow fashion and he leaves that up to me and Louise. As long as it's classic and true to the Goondiwindi woman, he's always happy. We're never way out. We're always just, you know, really strong colours, pinks, reds, make sure we've always got a navy base or navy in there.
And then next week we launch.
Most staff are based in the new building, including the marketing and social media team. It came into its own during the COVID pandemic, when the company was stuck with around 70,000 garments none of its retail customers wanted. Sam credits the young team for the company's social media-driven recovery.
So we invested in that, and away it went. And we went from doing 1,000 garments a year to a couple of thousand garments a month.
His biggest learning curve? Getting his head around the power of social media influencers.
That blew us away. It's very difficult for my age group you've got to trust and really trust people to know what's going on.
Morning, boys. Morning.
Sam insisted the middle of the building be a town square, bringing staff together. It was vintage Sam.
The architects and the builders were saying, Sam, this is a really bad utilisation of space. As much as a big space it is and probably could be used a bit better, it's a real sentiment to how he wants his culture in the team.
Harry's more at home checking on cattle, grain crops and cotton, but has an office here to shadow Sam and learn the business.
Do you always agree?
No. In any family situation, any working situation, you never agree 100% on everything, but you need to trust that fact of each other with that wisdom and that knowledge and then that energy that comes from the younger generation.
Harry says Sam's idea to run bus tours has brought benefits to the town and cotton farmers for 15 years. Tourists see the sights.
Gunsynd Park on our right, named after the mighty Goondiwindi grey.
And then visit the Coulton's cotton farm.
When they first started, people would say, geez, that's hard to do, or you're not really going to have a lot of people who are interested.
When it was purchased by the Coulton family back in 1973, it was a working sheep farm.
Farming's a heartbreaking game. It doesn't always work, and farmers are great at trying again, but I hope that the tours will just showcase that to people.
3,500 tourists do the trip every season, getting a feel for the vastness of cotton properties and the risks farmers take.
And we were starting to lose the trust as farmers to the consumer. So the education part of it was so important.
On board today were capital city tourists and some curious locals.
It's really great watching the cotton being picked and rolled into bales, and that's really fascinating.
Informative, interesting. So for us it's the first time and we needed to see cotton, so it's really, really good.
It has been very informative and it's beautiful also, yeah.
The Murray-Darling Basin map in Sam's shed is a jaw-dropper. For many, it's the first time they've understood its size and importance.
I think it's the best thing since sliced bread, because you can come to Goondiwindi, you can go to the pub for a meal and you can drive out of town and you'll be none the wiser about anything. But if you come on the tour like this, it makes your brain start to tick.
And we're trying to, in a little small way, just show the world what people that we are. After all, you've been trusting us to feed you 3 times a day, my family, for the last 100 years. So please listen to us.
Sam wants to land one more big idea before handing over to the 5th generation, establishing Australia's first circular cotton recycling business.
Here at Goondiwindi is the first project we started under this theme. We're looking at composting the textile waste in-field. We've proved with the concept that we can do it, and now we're looking at how we do that in a way that captures the most benefit for the soil, sustainability long-term, and for the cotton farming system.
Industry and academics are on board, and early results from Sam's farm show soils improve as textile waste breaks down. And it would, of course, benefit Goondiwindi.
It would employ 15 to 20 people in Goondiwindi, shredding garments, going through them, spreading it on farms, that type of stuff. It'll work. And it gives us another income rather than the drought and the flooding rains.